Gumpya Gundao, Mulongas Gundao Suglamnyo. This greeting, which just literally translates to good morning, is just but a snippet of the early Subanen's language. Let us make a quick tour in this development project with Subanen parents in Bonifacio, Misamis Occidental. The proponents of this study are the following EDD students major in educational management: Ivy Joy Y. Ravago, Charis L. Malikay, Mahalia T. Sultan, Chloe R. Adorna, Rachel Q. H. Chavez, and George A. Basilisco. The Bonifacio Subanen Indigenous People Village are the proponents' chosen community. Situated in Sitio Migsale, Barangay Mapurog, Bonifacio in the province of Misamis Occidental, this village was a project developed by the National Housing Authority in partnership with the local government unit of Bonifacio. Through the provincial government of Misamis Occidental's earnest manifestation of compassionate concern and commitment to the welfare of its people, the provision of serviced or developed lots has been made possible. This village was exclusively homed by the members of the Subanen tribe. More than 80 households devotedly preserve, protect, and uphold the culture and tradition of the Subanen tribe in order to ensure that the said tradition lives on. Subanen IEP are known for their unique cultural identity, and they still hold the integrity in preserving their intangible cultural tradition, belief, way of life, and the values while securing the protection of the environment, which is relevant to the upkeep of the Philippine national heritage. This study was conducted with the primary goal of helping Subanen parents become more self-aware of their own individual strength and make collective efforts through self-help development projects. The proponents believe that the best form of assistance in any community is to help the community help themselves, by making them more aware that they have the necessary tools at their disposal to hurdle life's pressing challenges, such as poverty, is the first necessary step towards improving community. Qualitative techniques of collecting and analyzing the data were employed. Data gathering techniques included surveys using questionnaires, key informant interviews, and focused group discussions. It was found out that majority of the parents have low self-esteem, and this greatly hampers them from having a stable family environment which can support their growing children's education. The failure of the parents to acknowledge and bank on their own human capacity can actually lead to their children's low self-concept and confidence on the potential of education to enable communities to function more effectively. There are two theories which guided the proponents of the development project. These are the self-help theory and the social capital theory. The self-help theory states that people in a community coming together and learning how to address their problems as they define them can improve their own situation. This could be done through projects that address their interests and concerns, such as cooperative, extension, and service. The specific Subanen community in Bonifacio is truly facing myriad of problems such as, but not limited to, poverty, education, and livelihood. This theory supports that idea that the best form of assistance is to help the community help themselves. Initially, self-help is stimulated to improve health, nutrition, and general community welfare. It suggests that the people in the community can best figure out their economic, social, and cultural conditions. This may involve tapping all the members of the community and requiring them of their fullest participation in making as well as in implementing decisions for their well-being and development. Self-help does not mean leaving the communities the sole responsibility of finding their own solution to a problem, but rather empowering them of their capacity for self-organization. It entails supporting Subanen people take up space to challenge discrimination and demand respect. This runs parallel with the United Nations the ambitions of the Global Sustainable Development Goals, which are to put people at the center of community self-help projects, sustainable development, and strive for a world that is just, equitable, and inclusive. The second theory is in social capital, which states that social relationships are resources that can lead to the development and accumulation of human capital. This presupposes that by intuition, all human beings, regardless of social strata, ethnicity, and the like, are fundamentally to their core social. For the Subanen parents and Bonifacio to maximize their human capacity to develop their social relationship and structure, it is important that they bank into and value the resources, both tangible and intangible. Things such as shared sense of identity, understanding, norms, values, trust, cooperation, and reciprocity must remain in place. Through the help of the Municipal Planning and Development Coordinator, Engineer Ardina C. Cabrera, the proponents were able to reach out both the former and acting Indigenous people mandatory representatives, Mr. Cirilo Indong and Arnold Patangan respectively. Data were collected using questionnaires, key informant interviews, and focus group discussions. In the questionnaire, basic information were asked, which includes their educational attainment and the number of people within a single household. During the interview, a simple get-to-know-you was done in order to establish rapport among the informants of the study. The focus group discussion also became a good way to gather together all the Subanen parents as they have similar backgrounds and experiences. This was done in order to discuss a specific topic of interest. The group of participants was guided by a moderator or group facilitator who introduced topics for discussion and helped the group to participate in a lively and natural discussion within and among themselves. Primary objectives of this study to answer the identified community problems are: first, to help Subanen parents become more self-aware of their own individual strength and make collective efforts through self-help development projects. Second, to raise self-awareness among parents on the important role education plays in uplifting societies and improving quality of life. These development project objectives are sustainable because any Subanen community is made up of individuals. Each of the individual member, although part of a single Subanen group, certainly carries unique traits, characteristics, values, skills, knowledge, and field of experiences which could either foster or hamper community development project. Although the direction with which a sail would ship is clear to the captain of the boat, there are factors affecting how it would be sailing in that direction, how fast the destination is reached, and the necessary sacrifices which should be done in order to get through the harbor safely. One of the key components to consider is really how each of the individual of a community has to relate with one another. A community is built on positive relationship. Once we increase how Subanen parents see themselves, we raise the chances for a more glued community working on a shared goal. On another note, if parents are already aware of the importance of education, it is easier for them to support a project which aims to produce more learned students and community members who can contribute meaningfully in building the community. Defined as the provision of programs, activities, and services to strengthen the capacity of recipients to improve their performance with respect to an inherent or assigned function, technical assistance is employed in the sense that the proponents acknowledges the Subanen parents as active key players in improving their function as collaborators of knowledge for their growing children. Moreover, one power actor, which is education, is also given emphasis in this study as having the knowledge, skills, and processes must be geared essential for the success of the development project. Based on self-help approach to community development, it is working together that people can improve their quality of life. Self-help is applied in this development project in the sense that the said project assures the participation of the Subanen parents even at the onset. It also acknowledges the necessity to increase the number of quality graduates in an area in order to uplift social conditions. Social capital is also employed in the study because it acknowledges the role of the community to act collectively. It is also when Subanen parents set aside their individual differences above the common good can development be made possible. Here is the development project strategic plan. In the pre-implementation plan, the activities include planning of the research team for the development project, tapping with the LGU and barangay officials, determining the issues to resolve, finalizing the issue for research, recognizing the gravity of the identified issues, and preparing for the conduct of the study once approved. In the implementation proper, the proponents conducted the study, retrieved the answered questionnaires, treated and analyzed the data, and presented the analysis and interpretations of results. The development project is sustainable through the help of the local government unit of Bonifacio and the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples. Moreover, organizing IP Scholars Club at school, starting in the preschool until the tertiary level, employment opportunities for Subanen people will likely increase. MOA with the School Now Employment Later scheme, with 3 years of return service to the IP community, shall also be implemented. Here is the timetable of the development project as well as the projected budget necessary for it to be materialized. Truly, Helen Keller's wisdom resonates when she says that alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. This concludes our group's presentation. Thank you so much for listening.